going on, people? Welcome to the full view. We've got some echo in there. Oh, there you go. That's off. KG, are you with us?
Absolutely.
I can't stand you. I really can't. Big up to the full view crew, man. This is full attendance. This is everybody present, because actually we started on a light note, having a little laugh and stuff like that. You know what I mean? People losing their AirPods, people having more than one set of AirPods and not needing them, etc., etc. KG not quite ready, but it's time to be serious, because there's a lot going on with the takeover situation. There's been a lot of news coming out over the last few days since that deadline that was on Friday. We're now obviously on Bank Holiday Monday here in the country anyway. And there's still more coming out, and it's looking like Sir Jim Ratcliffe is leading this race. The latest to just come out, we'll go over that as well, and everyone can have their say, because this is important. This is literally the future, you know. So smash a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Big up to the residents. Get your comments in. We want you guys to be heard as well. So get in the chat and let us know what you guys think. But to kick off the show, Owen, can you just give us a bit of context on the latest kind of bit of news that came out sort of within the last hour or so we're up to date, and then we'll discuss from there.
Yes, so this comes from the Telegraph, as you mentioned, in the last hour or so, saying that Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sheikh Jassim want to be in control as soon as a potential deal is made, so they don't have to wait until the end of the process to act. So basically, they're saying once the Glazers decide which their preferred bidder is, they want to have some element of control over United's future plans. However, it has been reported by the Telegraph it is unlikely the Glazers will accept before the sale is complete. Now, as to how much control each party is asking for, Ineos is asking for immediate transfer checks from the moment a potential deal is made, whereas Sheikh Jassim wants broader control. This suggests that they are considering the possibility of the process extending beyond the end of the season. So essentially, they're concerned that this process may be dragged out a little bit further, so they want to be as proactive as possible, but they're essentially saying, I saw in part of this report, they were saying actually from a legal point of view, that might not actually even be legal. Because how can you have control over something you don't technically own at that point?
It's crazy. And then obviously we all haven't been together talking about this, but obviously we had the news before that is definitely leaning towards.
Definitely leaning towards
at the football club.
Did I pause? Fleck.
Yeah.
Fleck. It was a pause, Fleck.
It's a pause. I don't know. Am I back?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a lot going on here.
There is.
Mina, what are you saying? What are you saying? Because obviously it's a roller coaster of emotions. What are you saying with that update? That obviously they want control. Whoever wins this bid wants control now, but obviously that legally is going to be quite difficult. But also with the fact that Sir Jim Ratcliffe seems to be leading this race.
I don't care. I just want it over and done with.
Serious, just get it done.
Honestly, like it's so exhausting. Like at this point, it's like every day there's, one thing I realized with all this news that has come out, especially over the last 3-4 days since the deadline, it's like every news outlet wants to have something original to the story. They want to have this inside scoop, and everybody's having contradicting information. All the information that we're getting is very contradicting. One person is claiming to have sources, another person is claiming to have sources. I feel like they're probably being fed, excuse my language, bullshit information, and they're feeding it to everybody else. That
Never heard Mina swear.
Because it's serious. It's a serious
thing.
Doesn't swear, doesn't gamble.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, sorry for the viewers that had to listen to that. But honestly, I'm tired of it. And the news about Jim Ratcliffe and how he potentially wants the Glazers to stay on, just that is enough for me to not want him in. That is just enough for me. And now the part that Owen was talking about, that it could extend past the end of the season, it's gonna drag out so unnecessarily. And I feel like a lot of it is riding on Champions League football, because the Glazers probably feel like they could get more for value in terms of the club if United make Champions League football, which is why they probably want to stretch it out as much as they want. I mean, they've had 3 rounds of bids. I'm pretty sure from the first round they probably knew who they wanted to sell it to, but they've been dragging it out for as much as they can. I'm just tired of it, and I know a lot of other people like share the same sentiment.
Yeah, obviously it is dragging on and showing no signs of concluding right now. KG, I want to come to you next because you have been quite. Everything's fine. They're 100%.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You said they're gone. It's cool. Everything's fine. Now you're seeing Sir Jim Ratcliffe leading a race that is certainly got the Glazers as part of his plans. That's what is a fact. Like,
This
if
is,
he wins,
you know what? This is
the
what
Glazers will stay at this football club.
And this is what I wasn't like, you know, when you do like your hypothesis and you break things down. If a guy comes out with a dossier saying, I'm returning to Manchester United, back to the Man United fans, I'm gonna do this, it's gonna be the heart of Man United, this, that, and the other, the club's lost this way, so and so and so. You don't expect this guy to turn around a few weeks later, well, let's say a month and a bit later, and say, you know what, Glazers, you can stay. You know what I mean? And that was never. I never believed that was on the cards at all. And that's like Altani saying, you know what, Glazers, just because I want control of this thing, I guess you can stay. And it's ruined everything. It's like, I don't know if you lot played Monopoly with a family, and then you're thinking you're banking on a deal. And then after one family member just becomes an idiot and he does a deal, and you're like, that's going to ruin the game.
Yeah, why did you do that? Yeah, you can see
usually
that
you?
Why have you just allowed them?
Is that usually you, KG? That's definitely KG. That's definitely KG. He's making mad deals.
No, I mean, in Family Monopoly, I do a madness. But like when we have to get a family member out, we have to take them out. Yeah. And then sometimes people just do stupid things, maybe because they're tired or they just want to leave the game. Yeah, no, bro. That's what this is in this moment, because I don't believe that they had like real options. I feel that with this one, before it was going to be the Elliott Fund. Elliott Fund would have been probably enough that maybe, you know, they could, maybe it's something, it could be enough, but it might not be enough. You see with what the pumping that, what do you call it's going to bring in, Sir Jim Ratcliffe's going to bring in, they can literally say, guys, I know was talking about, you know, 10 years, we can get the money, but we can get we can get a cash injection now, and about 1-2 years, we can get paid again. And then we actually don't even have to leave. So it just depends on how much Sir Jim Ratcliffe is putting forward. But all the sounds are going in that direction. That it's like, I believe that some journalists want it to be Sir Jim. I can't believe, I'm shocked by like Gary Neville and all these other people. It's full sale only. And I can't believe where it's going. But yeah, I would say that I'm trying to be optimistic and believe that nobody knows what they're talking about and everyone's just making it up. But the sounds, it's like they're trying to force it to be this way. And this way doesn't make sense.
Kenny, how concerned are you? Obviously, you know, you're on the same page as all of us. We're all on the same page of wanting the Glazers out.
Yeah.
Do you think this is just sort of media posturing and like Mina
no,
said?
I don't. I think there's... Yeah, no, I don't think it is media posturing, because if we look at the share price on Friday night before the bids went in, the share price on the New York Stock Exchange was $21 per share. The Qatari bid puts it at around $35 per share. So you think to yourself, how can they refuse that kind of valuation? How can they refuse that? However, you then look at it for what's coming from Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Sir Jim Ratcliffe has never said that he wanted to own the club. What he's always said, he wanted control of the club. So his bid is based on a percentage around 60-odd%, with the Glazers happy to have 20. Now, if my understanding is that if the Glazers say, we'll accept your bid, and our 20%, we will revert our shares to ordinary shareholders and not Class B, where we have voting rights, then Sir Jim Ratcliffe is happy to accept that, but the Glazers are still there, but they have no voting rights. Now, if the Glazers said, no, we're staying as Class B and we're having voting rights, then Sir Jim Ratcliffe walks away. So if Sir Jim Ratcliffe walks away, does that mean that they hand over to the Qatari bid? Or they turn around and saying, "Well, we know we're staying. We'll, you know, we know there's two interested that have probably given in the region, But they also know as well, they've rejected 4 or 5 others, and there's lots and lots of other big multinational groups that will happily lend them money so that they can invest and they can have a percentage of Manchester United. So yeah, we should be concerned, because I think from what we said right at the beginning with regards to the Qatari bid, and if you look at the actual value of that bid, with regards to the actual share price, you'd have thought they'd have been on the plane shaking hands and saying, there you go, you can have the club, young man, we're off. Boom. You can sing Glazers out all you want, we're out, done.
That hasn't been the case.
It's not happened. But it's not happened, has it?
No, it hasn't. It hasn't.
So there's a reasoning. And don't forget, in a lots of other negotiations, when you have a final deadline and the deadline is quite specific, you normally get something that comes out straight away.
What we have seen as well, coming to Marcel as well, what we also have seen is, again, sources say that the ones close to Sheikh Jassim and the 92 Foundation, they've been saying that we don't know where these reports are coming from. There was a comment from Al Jazeera, actually. I'll find that statement where they were basically saying about it was an undisclosed bid. So this saying that the Qataris don't value it at this and they've undervalued it. They're saying, listen, our bid is a world record bid. Marcel, how do you feel with the news from this afternoon, the news from the last couple of days that Sir Jim Ratcliffe's winning this, and the sort of ambiguity or lack of, maybe, depending on who you speak to, that the Qatari bid is not up to standard, but them saying, don't listen to that. We know what we've put in, and it's a very competitive offer, and it is a world record bid.
Well, I'm very happy that they made that clear. I think it was within hours of having the first original article out, the saying whatever they were saying against their original bid. So I'm happy that they cleared that up. Shows kind of seriousness in terms of their ambition to get the club. But then I'm also understanding what Kenny's saying in terms of what the Glazers wanted to do. I think that 70 to around 60% mark that they wanted to buy would have meant that only 2 other Glazers would have been around the club. It wouldn't be the whole 6 or 4 of them, how many there is. But it would just mean that 2 are left, and in terms of the Class B shares, they wouldn't have the power to have voting rights, which in effect means that they're less powerful. Wouldn't that be closer to what we want as fans? Not having them, yes, they're still in the club, and it would only be 2 people rather than the 4 or 6. I can't remember exactly how many of them are there. So that's a positive, and the fact that they don't have the voting rights is also a positive. I think that, and at 8%, I'm not 100% sure, but it would also mean, do they get their dividends? Would they regularly get their dividend shares at 8% of, and not having the class B shares and voting rights? I don't know, but that I think is still a positive than having Glazers as a whole entity. That I would want the Sheikh Jassim bid, and I've always said I believe that the Glazers should be gone. There's no questions about that. But having them here, at the 20%. And only 2 of them, I would still say is better than having them having the voting rights, having the power to run the club the way they've done incorrectly for many a year. Obviously, we want the Qatari bid, but I wouldn't see as a major issue as having the Jim Ratcliffe deal at 70% with the way that he wants it structured.
I think the problem is, Marcel, the big problem that we've got.
Wait, what? You're happy with the Sir Jim thing of him having the Glazers sticking around?
You see, so you've shortened it and not listened to the in between that I've said. But essentially, I would be happy to have them, Owen. But if Sir Jim has the 70% tied down, he has 2 additional Glazers, because that's the deal that I think Sir Jim wants. He's trying to be flexible, because I think originally he wanted the whole club. What I've been reading, he wanted the whole club. But now he's offering kind of 2 deals, to my understanding, which is if they're not going to take the whole club, I'll even go at 70% and I'll leave 2 additional Glazers there, and I'll have full control of the club. And he wants that immediately now, just like what you were saying in the article that you'd read, that he wants that control as soon as possible. Yes, the Sheikh Jassim deal wants a wider range of control, but he just wants the control now at 70%, leaving 2 Glazers there. What major issue is that compared to having 6 Glazers running the club?
The major issue is having them at all, Marcel. It's Glazers out. It's not Glazers partially out. It's not a little bit of a sale. It's full sale only. I mean, even the point, I said it this morning, my issue is it's not even necessarily being you're pro-Qatar or this is Qatari view or you're anti-Sir Jim Ratcliffe. I just don't want the Glazers around. I've come to some element of peace with the fact that this entire process is going to make these people who don't deserve it incredibly wealthy. Billionaires, they're going to profit on money that they didn't even spend to purchase Manchester United, leverage loans and debt. They're going to be stinking rich out of it. The last thing I want as a United fan is to have their palms greased by the tune of like £5 billion, and then they stick around, even if they don't get dividends because the board doesn't approve it anymore because Sir Jim's in majority control, that kind of stuff. They can still sell their shares at any point and profit even further. It's going to be written into the deal in year 1 and 2 that they could possibly sell for an additional premium. They could make extra money. So, I mean, when it first started out, and this is my issue with all of this. When it first started out, Sir Jim Ratcliffe put a press release, or Ineos put out a press release that said, to KG's point, we want to put the Manchester back in Manchester United. And we want to go into the historic roots in the Northwest and a fan-centric approach to ownership. How on earth is a fan-centric approach to ownership keeping the people around just to a lesser extent that we want out in the first place? That to me is baffling. And I understand compromise and making a deal with the devil to win the race, but still, that doesn't really solve the issue because they're still there. They're still there.
Well, what's the issue then, Owen? That's what you'd have to ask.
That they're there.
Well, no. Well, the issue is 10 years of incompetence and control. The lack. They've finally had the control, or they had control for 10 years, and they abused it. That's the issue. And now, when you look at it, if Sir Jim's about to now purchase the level of control they had, and hopefully not abuse it, then the issue potentially one could assume could be solved. No.
But they're still around, Master. They can still profit. They're still leeching. I mean. But you can say like, okay, they're leeching to a lesser extent. They're still sucking blood. Get it off. I don't go to a doctor and go, I've got leeches all over my arm. We'll take off 4 or leave 2 on. No, take them all off. You know, they're still draining blood out of me.
I think what Marcel's trying to do, and I think a lot of Man United fans are like, they have to get to the stage where Marcel's just ahead of the trajectory from everybody else. It's just Marcel's in a state of acceptance, and he thinks if this thing's gonna happen, what does it look like? And there's no Man United fan here that can't say they just sat down with it and thought, bloody hell, what does this thing look like? You know what I mean? Because we've all had to sit down and think, he might get it. So I think but the issue is some fans are unwilling to accept, but it's a matter that's not in our hands. That's the issue that everyone needs to actually realize. We don't get to decide nothing. Even when those guys said, you know what, we'll give more money for the club to work with in terms of the stadium and this, that, and the other. I read that piece I checked out that piece that Flex told us, you know, that long article, that long. I looked at that and he said, and the bottom line of it was Glazers just want to get paid. They don't care about breakdowns of deals. How much are we getting? And we'll take that. That's all they care about. So now we got to rely on the Glazers to make the most financial money-making scheme for them. What one is going to yield the most money as soon as possible? Maybe, and what they tried to do is they tried to tell us that the Qatari bid is low, but that doesn't make sense. If the first time they bidded, if Qatari bidded last time and the bid was what they said it was over 5 billion before, yeah. How did the new bid, the final bid, how is it lower than 5 billion? How is it lower than?
They're saying the terminology they're using is very, very deliberate because they're not necessarily saying that they bid more than Qatar. They say that their bid says that Manchester United's worth a higher value. So they're saying by proxy of mathematics, if I'm spending £5 billion for 50% of Manchester United, then if I was to purchase 100%, I'm valuing the club at 10 billion, whereas they're offering 5 billion for everything. Therefore, the Glazers would only get 3.5 billion for their percentage and plus everything else. But at the same time,
that means they got a lower bid then. So what they're saying is, Ratcliffe's pulled out with a lower bid because it's a bit muddy. Either they bid more or they bid less.
But basically for that money, even though it's less like straight up front cash, if you like, than Sheikh Jassim, because it's a lesser percentage, a smaller percentage, and they still get to stay there and extract money and can sell their shares at a different date for more money, then actually that works out better than selling it to one guy who wants all of it for only like, I don't know, $500 million more than what this guy's offering, and we can still get 40% to ourselves.
And they're saying that Qatar have been inflating it by essentially, saying, oh, actually, they've only been really offering 3.5 billion this whole time, and that extra 1.5 or 2 billion is in promised capital, or this is what we're going to do in the future because we're going to spend this on the stadium, this on the training ground. Which, to your point, Flex, they then came out and said, well, that's not true. It's always been a world record fee. They were even suggesting that Qatar never bid a world record fee. Which, if that was the case, then he was never going to win the race anyway, because the Glazers wanted a world record fee.
This is what I'm saying. This is why I feel like everyone's I feel like the media making up. They don't know what's going on. I feel like they don't know what's going on. I feel like they're just selling papers.
Just saying nobody knows. I'm tired. And look, I don't get with trying to see, because obviously, look, we have to discuss things. We're not here to just like shoot each other down and stuff like that. If we're being honest. I think, Marcel, you're coming from the vibe of like, it's better. This is how I think you see it. Am I right in saying you think it's better that the Glazers have a smaller grip on the club than they did before? Is basically what you're saying. That's where you're coming from. But the issue with that is, I know it can seem like that at face value, but actually what they're doing is saying, okay, well, we won't put our own money into this next stage of Manchester United's development, of returning it back to where it needs to be. We're going to let somebody else come in and front up their money and put loans on their business, i.e. Jim Ratcliffe's Ineos. And actually, we now get to stay while somebody else makes the decisions, because we've handed control over. We now get to stay because somebody else has put an injection of cash into this club. So no one's going to come. So basically, they get to lessen their accountability, but stay and still keep bleeding us dry, which I would argue is probably even worse than before, because now they get to let somebody else front it up, front and center, who's gone to bed with the devil, in my opinion, is what Jim Ratcliffe's now done. And he's going to be feeding them money because they have a stake. They have a stake in this institution. So the Glazers are going to get to dividends day and say, me and Avram are so about running as RPs then, because we've got 20% in this big old company. Oh, yeah, here you go, Avram. Oh, here you go, Joel. And then they just go happily ever after. And then what they get to do is at a different date, sell off that percentage that they have and get whatever billion they think that is worth, or whatever they think.
And where does that come from? And where does that come from? Imagine they just one day go, yeah, actually, those shares, you want to get rid of them today. 1 billion, please. Does Sir Jim Ratcliffe have that? Where does that come from? Ineos? Does that come from United?
And then what then happens? Other people in. So
invite other people in.
Who wants to go? And so I see why your methodology of looking at it like that, to say, well, okay, we're in this mindset where it looks like Sir Jim Ratcliffe's going to get this bid, and actually, I'd rather the Glazers own 30% of this than 100 or whatever the majority of what they own now. I'd rather them have no say. I'd rather them not be, making decisions about transfers and the way to restructure the stadium. I get
all these
why
things
you
won't
think
be in
that.
their power play.
Right, but the problem is, we're now being told that we have to trust the guy who is literally saying, I'm a Manchester United fan and I want the best for the club. Well, if you're a Man United fan and you want the best of the club, at the first sight of you being able to maybe not acquire this club, you've then done a deal with the devil, because actually you've sold your soul. Because what you're telling us then is that I don't really have enough to buy the whole thing, but if I can be majority, but I have to do a deal with them, well, that suits me. I'll take it. That's what that's what's being said here. That's what Sir Jim Ratcliffe's doing, returning Manchester back to the Northwest greatness or whatever bullshit he said. Yeah. Is not doing a deal with the Glazers. No Man United fan wants that. So you're already going against every single Manchester United fan, every single one. So in theory, I get what you're saying. Surely them having less of a grip on the club is better. But in reality, they're loosening their grip and accountability in order to still have a financial gain. He's
no Man United fan. I'm telling you that for sure. Because that Chelsea thing has to ring true. If he's been to Old Trafford, he's heard the Man United faithful sing Stand Up If You Hate the Glazers. He's heard all the Glazer songs. There's no way someone that goes to games and is a true season ticket holder of Man United is saying, you know what? Let's still work with the Glazers though. There's no chance. So that thing about that and all the guys, all the journalists that were jumping out talking about morals and this other stuff and all this other crap that they came out with, well, hold your heads in shame, because you lot came out and said, give it to the Manchester guy, give it to the guy that understands and knows the club. If you know the club, you never do this. This goes against everything them fans have been speaking about. When you're talking about other teams being formed and created purely because no one liked where Man United was going under the Glazers, how do you come along and do this? Chelsea season ticket holder, that's who he is. Doesn't care about the thing, and that's it.
Yeah. It's a dangerous strategy from the point of view that, as we've got, one, you have to ask your question: could he afford the club in the first instance to buy it outright? We don't think he did. It could, because otherwise, why are you talking about 20%? Secondly, very dangerous, isn't it? You acquire a club, you bring the Glazers on board, knowing full well that is not a popular fan decision. All of a sudden, you spent a lot of money, and you could have very, very quickly have the fans turn against you as well. Now, that I'm not saying it would. I'm not saying they would, but potentially, if he shakes hands, with the solicitors and the lawyers, with the Glazers and said, here's your 20%, this, that, and the other. That is going to do is incite a large section of the fan group, and all of a sudden that valuation that they've had on that club plummets, because we know the impact of what a greater escalation of the protest could be. If we start, if fans started to target sponsors, commercial deals, etc., then you can forget your $35 or $21. That share price plummets, and the pair of them have got a bad deal. So if you look at it from a risk and reward point of view, the Glazers must know that if they hang around, that it's not a popular decision. They must know that, right? They ain't stupid. So is it better to just sell it, get out of it, and then we've got our money, we've got our 4-5 billion, whatever it is, leave it to someone else. If they hang around, this never goes away.
This is the bit that they couldn't resist, though. When we was like, when there was a point where I was like, I was quite negative on streams. I was like, this is the Glazers, though, man. Like, any way they can stay and just keep extracting, they're just really greedy. Like, any logical person would go, well, you know what? Look how much they've only put in 200 million of their own money at the start, and the rest was leveraged against debt to the original 500 million it was to buy the club. What they've made like 4.5 billion on that. Like, it's insane. So actually take the full sale and off you go. But here we are, because they just can't bear to let it all go. There's a whole load of super chats here that I need to get through, because it's a really, really busy show. Over 1,700 people watching. We're on our way to 2,000 people watching live. Everybody wants to have their say. So I'm going to get these super chats out. Let me just get the order, because I know there's a lot. Okay, scroll up to the top. So WJ Barrett says, yes. Love the full view. Big up to you. Red Baron says, do United fans ever get a break from news? No, we don't. Red Baron says, is Mina 30? I don't know why you're asking their age. Red Baron says, do you guys like the beef? Neville versus Mark? I don't think it's beef. I just saw
anything's kicked off. Yeah,
I think Gary Neville just put no, he's not going to come on the overlap, and then I saw Mark do some video that I don't know. I did see that, and I thought that just seems a bit mad entitled. Like, Gary Neville doesn't have to like you, like, just because you're doing amazing. Like, I want Drake to make a song with Pusha T. They're both great, but they don't like each other. It doesn't.
Who are they? Who are they? That's a question. Who are they?
Owen straight away.
Okay, Owen. I would love Elvis to make a song with that. No, they're not here anymore. Limp
Bizkit,
Adele, and what's his face with the ginger hair? Ed Sheeran, Mick Hucknall.
Listen, Mick Hucknall. Adele and Mick Hucknall.
But Adele and Ed Sheeran.
They probably made one already.
They both got big platforms. They're both doing amazing. But Ed Sheeran don't get to go to Adele, you must make a song with me. or maybe I just
Maybe
don't like
him. Yeah.
Like, it's not that deep. Like, it's man. People talk about
I like the
suppression.
thought of Adele Mick I think that's a better like.
I really like it. Yeah, I like that.
Wicked.
I thought you were poor.
Yeah.
Mick Hucknall were poor lad.
So no, I didn't see any beef. I just saw one person just thinking that somebody should just have them on a platform when the other person doesn't have to do that. That's just called this thing called life. I think just get over it. What else we got? Black Gary Neville, aka Marcel, says WJ Barrett. WJ Barrett also says, preach, Owen, preach. Facts. Memphis Depay says, Marcel, Sir Jim Ratcliffe promised similar things at Nice and he hasn't delivered anything. In fact, it's gotten worse. So Omi says, how do you know they won't retain their siblings' board seats / voting power? We don't know anything about the Ratcliffe deal. Rudolph the Red says, say that again.
We don't know anything about any deal. It's all speculation at this point. So, you know, I've always wanted the Qatari. That's been my first point. I'm just saying, if it does look like a Sir Jim Ratcliffe situation, it's less is, you know, something is better than nothing in that situation for me, in my opinion. About it.
Okay. Red Baron says, Rudolph says, Jim dancing with the devil. He's going to get burnt. Red Baron says Eric Ten Hag picked up a green and gold scarf. He did. I think in that moment, Eric picked it up.
Yeah, he's been nice.
And he went, oh, shit. Yeah, they've got it. like, here, have it back, yeah? And then just thought,
it's too late. The message was too late.
He's too late. He felt he went in for it. But we're going to take that as Eric hates the Glazers. We're fine with that. We're just going to take it as that. P.S. Ratcliffe wants to be a Red Devil, so he has to do a deal with the Devils. All owners have issues. Qatar and state ownership cannot be ignored. So P.S. saying kind of what Marcel's saying, which is, listen, maybe they're, you know, it's not that deep, but I disagree with that. Ahmed says Marcel doesn't mind the Glazers staying, but when it comes to David De Gea, he wants him gone yesterday. Come on, man. I'm not going to say the last bit because I don't agree with that. It's Marcel's opinion. Kaiser, thank you for the contribution. Big up. It's your first one as well, so big up to Kaiser. Jordan says, Sir Jim the Fraud is not a real Man United fan. He was / is a Chelsea season ticket holder, just in it for the money and doesn't care about the fans. And Nanzis is a red, says, let's start a trend. Make a short video, say I want Glazers out, hashtag the sponsors. Let's spread this all over social media. Every United fan duty. So yeah, have I got any more there? What's that there? No, we've read that one.
There's a members chat.
Yeah, go for it, Owen. I can't see it at the minute.
From WJ Barrett's been a member for 10 months. Says Ratcliffe can't do a full sale, so he snaked the fan base by jumping into bed with the Glazers. 1 billion in debt and borrowing. Where is the money for the rebuild? And we're up to date.
Where is the money for the rebuild? I mean, Minna, I know you don't care. I know you don't care. And we're going to move on to some football in a minute.
And what is that top, by the way, Minna?
I was going to ask the same thing.
Somalia.
It's the Somalia national team shirt.
Min is in there. She's got the national colours there, mate. Do you think, which way do you think this is going to go? I know you say no one seems to know you don't care, but just Minna's final words on this before we move it on. Which way do you think this sale is going to go? What do you think will happen? And how do you think that will be received?
A part of me thinks it's Qatar, but
you still got hope.
It's not even hope, because I feel like there's questions around their ownership if they come in, but there's also questions around Jim. There's questions around everybody.
Yeah.
One thing that I don't like is when everybody brings up a lot of things with Qatar, people don't seem to really talk about Sir Jim Ratcliffe's involvement with Nice and Christopher Galtier when he was the manager. And, you know, the reports that came out over the last 3 months, if anybody's been following it, about the racism and xenophobic comments from a football manager at Nice to players. Jim Ratcliffe owned the club then. He was aware of it then. He continued to fund his transfers then. And then suddenly now it's coming out and people are picking up on it, but nobody's really questioning what was Ratcliffe's involvement with that.
It's not really in the media like that, is it? Yeah.
It's not in the media like that. And it's very disappointing. I know why. You guys probably know why, but I'm not going to say it. But we all know why. But in terms of and also just before you mentioned about Al Jazeera mentioning Al Jazeera is a state-owned media outlet in Qatar. If they themselves are saying it's an undisclosed fee, then 100% the British journalists do not know what they're talking about when it comes to the figures. Because I do feel like Sir Jim Ratcliffe does have a lot more PR support in the UK. Of course, you know, the Make Manchester Great Again, all that stuff. You put the Manchester back in Manchester United, giving me Brexit vibes. You remember the big signs during Brexit that said, what was it? Protect our borders, all of that kind of stuff. That's the kind of vibe that I get from Jim Ratcliffe. But if he does come in, then we just have to accept it. And same with Qatar. If Qatar come in, we just have to accept it. Of course, the Jim Ratcliffe's involvement is a lot more questionable because, you know, people mentioning jumping into bed with the Glazers and all of that stuff. Marcel, you know, unfortunately, I disagree with you, with your opinion, but it's okay because we're adults in it. We can disagree.
Of course. Regarding what is it that you disagree with specifically?
I disagree with any.
That we make it clear.
I disagree with you saying that, you know, if 2 Glazers are involved, it's better than 6. It's like me saying, you know what it's like saying? It's like, I have a family of 10. I hate 6 of them. So when I go to a family gathering, I'm only going to talk to 4 of them. No, I'm just not going to go to the family gathering because I don't talk to most of them.
Family gathering. Nah, don't jump too quickly.
No, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing.
And football club is different.
It's the same thing.
And
some people see football as a family. Some people see football as family. To some people, it's a religion. Joining the football club, it means a lot to them. So your opinion and someone else's.
Red room controversy here. It's red room going at it.
You gotta say to yourself, Marcel just doesn't look comfortable in these moments. It's back and forth. Marcel's asking tough questions. He's supposed to have the greatest ideas assembled, but I'm looking right now and I can't see it. I'm
looking at Marcel straight in his eyes. In big trouble, this Marcel.
No.
I'm looking at
Business
Marcel.
And family.
He wants 4, 5, 6 Glazers still at the club. 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. Glazers.
Go on, hey, Flex. Go on, Gary Neville. How many Glazers? What's that? What's Gary Neville going to say?
Well, as Owen just said, there could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 Glazers still at the football club.
I can't believe. Back to you, Jeff. Can't believe it.
Yeah, Owen's the Jeff.
I tell you what, I worry for him, Jeff. I worry for him, KG. I worry. Paul Mercer says, I worry for him, to be honest. I worry for him.
What did you go to Owen? Did you hear what Marcel just said? He just said he wants to Glaze. Oh, did he? I thought he was joking, Jeff.
There's controversy in the red room, Marcel.
But from
Don't
who?
take him on, Marcel.
But from
Don't
who?
take him on, man.
I'm
on your side, me, man. I'm with you, Marcel.
I get Kenny, this happens all the time. This happens to me all the time. I get misquoted and then it comes back around.
Nah, you got misquoted, mate. So we got it right.
No, Minna has balanced family and business together, saying that if she had
I just gave you an example. I'm not equating it. I'm not equating it. I'm just giving you an example because you're saying, if Jim Ratcliffe comes in and he keeps 2 out of 6, then you're okay with that. But it's full sell only.
Yeah, because it's better. And I'm not just okay with it. Like that sentence itself is wrong. There's context to that sentence. So that also means that control is now enabled by the Jim Ratcliffe deal. That was the crux of our whole issue for the last 10 years. The control has been abused. The control from the Glazers, 6 of them, 10 of them, 20 of them, 500 of them. It doesn't matter. The control of it has been the issue, guys. And that's what I'm trying to allude to. In family and business, that's completely. You can't talk about.
Okay, You're saying
that doesn't make no sense. So once the control gets to Sir Jim at 70%, he's now able to make the right decisions for the business, the football club, not the family, for the next 10 or so years. That's why I would want them in the club. I've always wanted Qataris, and that would always be my number 1 pick. But if Sir Jim is to be the main deal, there has to be a bit of a context with it, guys.
Okay, let me ask you one question. Yeah, just one question. Problem. You live in a house, yeah, a nice house. You brought it. It's not a council. It's not a council house or anything.
Oh, she's on their attack.
You got 6 rats. You got rodents in your house, yeah. You call exterminator. You tell the exterminator take 4 out, but leave 2 of the rats for me in the house. Is that logical?
I think she's called it in.
No, again, these rats haven't been mistreating me.
They're the 2 biggest rats as well.
What's going on with the rats?
They're the ones that's eating all your snacks in the cupboard.
Yeah, one of the rats has got one weird ponytail at the back, which is flapping around quite a lot.
Marcel, we need a response, Marcel.
The business and rats are 2 different things again. A football club cannot be run like rats in a home. It just doesn't work, guys. That's just not how football clubs get run. Unfortunately, KG, for you, that's not how it works, my friend. So you can stay with the squeaky voice, but until we're ready to make correct and
I think you're in big trouble,
comparison,
Marcel.
then we can go forward with any sort of discussion, guys. But Sir Jim is doing something that I think, yes, I've understood what Flex is saying. But ultimately, the rats and the bad family members are still taken from the good community of the club. And we shouldn't want that penultimately. But if there was a situation where, and for me, similar to what KG was thinking, I was thinking the worst. Yes, KG got spun the other way in the sense that he thought to himself, it's definitely Qataris. It's definitely Qataris. But for me, I'm starting to see the Sir Jim stuff, and I'm thinking, well, it could definitely be Sir Jim. What's the best case scenario here? And
Yeah, no, because on that last bit that Marcel did just say, yeah, he's saying, well, I'm like what you said, KG. He's trying to be ahead of the curve, so he's saying it's probably going to be Sir Jim. So I need to see some form of positive, like because it's going to be him.
He's just trying to work it out. He's just trying to get to the future.
Yeah, and actually, in the interest of everything, look. This is just a difference of opinion, innit? That's what this is for. Like, so for anyone, because I know there can be people at home who sometimes take this to like, oh, don't do that to Marcel. Don't be horrible to. You should see. You should see on the motorway where me and Marcel are driving up to a game. Like,
Marcel,
don't worry.
I don't know if you've seen this. I don't know if you've seen this. There's a new episode of UV Raw out, guys, and it's titled Marcel's Madness because I'm not even exaggerating here. Marcel is on a train offering strangers watermelon. It's true. It's true. It's true. And then he gives it to one guy, and then a guy eats it. He goes, "It's really juicy." He goes, "Oh my god, it's the wildest thing." And then at one point, it comes out too, and he goes, "He's got." He said, "I wanted my hotel room to smell nice, but he could only find car freshener spray." It's the biggest can you've ever seen in your life. Oh, you got to go watch it.
No, all I'm saying, it's the same guy that doesn't believe in time as well. So listen, I think he's all right.
Yeah, exactly. So when you guys say leave Marcel, like Marcel is our guy. He is like we love Marcel. So don't. I had to just like put that little because sometimes on the internet people sometimes think, oh, that's very horrible what they're doing there, or that it's a difference of opinion, and we all have our own way of which we can interact with Marcel with some of the things that he says. That are perfectly viable because that's just the relationship that we have with him.
This is the same. Wait, hold on. This is the same crackhead that said that the Brav can look better than the hair in the warm up, and he wants him to start, bruv. Nah, man.
He did. KJ, I'm not gonna go over it again, but he did. He looked fabulous. And it was good. It was Everton away. It was Everton away. KJ, I remember the actual game. It was Everton away. And he was brilliant in the warm-ups. The passing, the control, everything was brilliant.
Can I say one thing, guys? KG, I asked him on the recent episode on the Red Room, who would he rather leave, David De Gea or the Glazers? Everyone go watch that episode if you want to know.
No. See, this is why it's in the. I know he's done the right thing.
Look at you guys. No comment, all of you. What I'm saying, I said the right thing.
I know he said the right thing. There's no way he wouldn't. There's no way.
He's left it open-ended. Winners left it open-ended. You guys don't know what was said. Look at Owen, hands on his head. Look at KG. Why are you guys thinking worse?
But what did you say?
You know what you said.
No comment. I said no comment, Owen. No comment.
Did you not answer the question?
You said no comment on the thing. 24 hours.
No comment. I'm not going to answer it now. Watch it. Watch the show.
We'll watch the show. I can't wait. We'll watch the show. We'll be watching the show, waiting for that. Marcel, if you did, you need to get rushed. You do. No, I swear to you. No, he has to. There's no choice.
Marcel, if you've done that, when I see you, I'm going to cut off one plait. just one. Just one. No. I can't.
That's
honestly.
So yes, I would have like Rush.
Yeah. But Marcel's quick though, playing football again.
We'll catch him, bro.
Shuttle runs.
Just quickly before we carry on and move it on a little bit. Let me get back to where we was. There's loads of super chats. Nearly 2,000 people watching live, by the way. So smash a like on the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you guys are new as well. Mina is right, so hold on, I think I need to go up even more. Right. Vegeta says, I just want to say today I feel Qatari. I do not want to smell the Glazers. They do not deserve to profit in any shape or form. In Altans, I believe. Altans. Memphis Depay says, Mina is right. The media is doing their work to side with a certain passport holder, just like they do with Harry Maguire and Bruno Fernandes. media bias is what Memphis is saying. Memphis also saying Glazers didn't care, which is still better than Sir Jim Ratcliffe literally starting a relationship with a lie. Lemmy says Marcel out. Marcel's going nowhere. Very much Marcel in. I am me.
Today
says,
I feel Qatari.
I am me says, I see where Marcel with a capital L at the end, -L, is coming from. The Glazers being in the background, not being involved, and Jimmy running the club. So less Glazer incompetence. And that's what he's trying to say. But obviously, we've all kind of spoke about the counter to that. So Marcus says, Marcel, Sir Jim only wants 50%, not 70%. And WJ Barrett says, nah, Marcel on the verge of a breakdown, Rats family. And Dooms Booms says, how does Marcel consistently take L's week in, week out is beyond me. And big up the UV team and saying, joking, Marcel. Ahmed says, there's loads here, hold on. Ahmed says, Marcel Ratcliffe is going to live on forever. And WJ Barrett says, nah, I love Marcel, man. Never, ever change, brother. And I agree with that exactly. And Marcel's ain't changing for no one. But yeah. Do not change. Christopher says, no buyout with previous leadership works. Too many residual problems. Full sell only works, but Glazers can stay as an investor like any of us. Min says, what would be the next step for the fans if the Glazers stay? It'd just be big, massive protest, wouldn't it? And essentially, though, like what we've been saying, we don't get a say. You know, the same way the Glazers were here for what, 18 years now, whatever it is. And we've been campaigning and they've only sold, not because the Glazers didn't put the club up for sale because they went, oh, you know what, the fans are right. We can't really stay here. They don't like us. It's because they couldn't extract any more money. They've taken it. They've bled it as dry as they could bleed it. So to answer your question, Min, what could we do is try and make our voices heard. Yeah, boycott this, boycott that, you know, protest at the games, etc. But essentially, if it happens, it happens.
We need some level of sell. We need some level of sell. That's exactly what the bottom line is. Some type of sell we need. Like,
yeah, but that's what this would be, though. This would be
we need some. We need basically in the worst case scenarios. What time Marcel's saying, we need some type of sell. Something needs to change in this moment. Till there.
That's actually what Marcel's saying then.
That's what I'm saying. That's what he's saying. That's what I'm saying.
They can't keep getting away with it though, can they, KG? Honestly,
I hear it, but then it's like no, but
constant.
then it's the thing of it is that thing of saying, look, guys, at the end of like, let's say that we have no more options, and let's say Qataris for some strange reason got upset and they said, you know, we don't like the way we're pulling out. We'll be looking at this deal and saying, yo, Mr. 50%, well, what are you gonna do? Do you know what I'm saying? That's where we'll be left to turn to this thing. It's not what we want, but this is the next scenario. Now we don't want this. Everyone's saying that we want the full sell, but a situation where the Glazers, just imagine the Glazers say, you know what, we don't even want that Sir Jim Ratcliffe deal either, and we're just gonna go along with Elliot, and we're just gonna refinance and this, that, and the other. Oh my goodness, that's like a gunshot. You know what I mean?
I don't even think they can. That's what I've always found interesting with the minority stuff, because let's say Elliot come in with like $1 billion or $2 billion. How deep the issues are at United, sort of structurally, that's almost not enough, is it? Because let's just say that's just for the stadium and the training ground. Hasn't done anything about additional capital that's required to boost up the cash balance or pay off parts of the debt. So it kind of only feels, because remember as well, the bids that came in Friday, the only two people that were subject to that deadline were the people that were looking to acquire the majority or all of United. So that kind of implies, doesn't it, that they're not even really looking at those minority people, those people putting in cash injection, because that's not enough. And to your point, if Qatar dropped out, then I'd say to Sir Jim Ratcliffe, oh, then go and buy the majority of them. The only reason he's doing this deal is because he's concerned that he might not win. And this is, I've got to make a deal that's more attractive than Qatar. And the more attractive position is allowing them to stay and make more money in the future.
Yeah, true.
There's a couple more super chats here before we carry on. Jay Bruce says, if someone beats me up and takes my money 7 days a week, then says he's only going to beat me up and take my money 2 days a week, I'm not going to say it's okay. At least it's not 7 days a week. It should be 0 days a week.
Did you understand that one, Marcel?
KG, it kind of went through the braids and then came out the ear and was like, what's going on?
And Marcel does say, well, I don't understand sarcasm. He does admit that.
Jesus.
I didn't get that at all. It didn't make no sense to me. Someone's beating you up. Why on earth would you want anyone to beat you up? Any amount of days of the week.
That's the point. That's the point. That's the point that the guys just made, is it not? He doesn't want anyone to beat him up.
Actually, no, sorry, Owen, sorry, because you're right. That is the point.
yeah. That's what he just said.
No, hold on, Owen.
That's what you want to see just said.
No, but hold on. He's comparing it to a football club.
All right, Marcel, I've got this for you. Marcel, I need to play this for you, please. Seriously, on a serious note now. Let's go.
Don't provoke me to anger, or else you'll be in danger.
Stop provoking us, Marcel. Seriously, enough's enough.
I'm not provoking you. I'm being myself. I'm just being myself.
KG, you know what sound you need? The one about the guy with when he's on the highway like a rat.
Or the one KG. You need to put the one on that I sent you the other day.
Yeah. Correct.
Oh, mate, honestly, I just got no words. The Nate fam says Jim Rat is just a British Glazer 2.0. And that's your first super chat as well. So thank you to the Nate fam. And Kaiser says, we'll be left with debt. So how will that ever get paid? And will just increase over time. So Marcus is the latest member of the UV members club as well. So big up to you. Welcome to the family. And Daniel says, KG, I love you, by the way. But Marcel, I like your opinion. But Glazers, what if our Glazers are rats and they get the money and in 2025-26 buy a club from Ratcliffe because rats don't have money for everything we need? And Memphis says, no.
Did you get that, KG? Did you get that?
No, I didn't. I was reading super chats. I was just reading the free seats as well, to be honest. And then I came back in on the rats bit.
Memphis says, no. That rat theory used by Minna was elite. I'm still laughing now, or I'm still laughing. And actually, some people in the chat as well. Well, first of all, just big up to all of our members. I can see Daniel Simmons is in there, Jefferson, Fat
shout out to them,
Jonathan, Matty Ladd, Joe Blackman, Papa J, says hashtag Marcel out. Paul Lucas has passed the Dutchie. Hype Factory just laughing. Big up Lil Yo-Yo, always there. Chris Day, Vegeta, Mike Matthews, 86 Poke, Double Digital, Proficiency Music, Razzie V Cobra. So there are loads. Chris Day, Manish Patel. Loads of members, and actually non-members as well, which actually there's so many members. I'm going to go to the non-members and big you guys up. Actually, I'm trying to do that, but all I can see, it's members only that are actually showing up. So at the moment, I can't even go to the people who aren't members who are putting in. But yeah, big up to everyone. Big up to everyone in the live chat is basically what my gist is from that. Let's talk about football for the last 8 minutes. A good win yesterday. And I just want to talk about like different players and how the team's shaping up to basically get us over the line in these next few games, because Brighton away next, then, West Ham away, but the home form you'd think should be enough, because Liverpool, I think, are going to win all their games, but it'll be a catastrophe and a proper bottle job if we
Can I say something, Fleck?
Yes, you can.
I watched your fan view.
Yeah.
And I was like, why did you say that though?
Because just
clarify what he said. Clarify what he said, KG.
He said, "Right, that Shaw's better than Martinez." Like he's like, it was just mad. It was just like, but it's like, but why though? Like it was just so unnecessary. It's like you're talking about one of our players of the season, and it's like I get you enjoying.
And I even said that. I said he's played the season.
But that was mad. Like I looked at that, and then I heard you say today that what do you say? Thingy's just as good as Varane. Thingy can pass better than Varane, he said today. I watched you on DR Sports saying Lindelof passes better than Varane.
Can I say what you
getting crazy?
Can I say what you said to me on the phone when I asked you about that flex?
Yeah.
When I said, who would you rather have against Man City in the FA Cup final? Yeah. At centre-back, Martinez or Shaw? And you said Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I said Eric Ten Hag said it.
But you said some mad things because hold on. Because I don't know how to trust you, because one day we argued before. It's true. We argued before, and we said the other day I was like, I was talking about Lindelof being better than Maguire, and he's like, no, he's not. Remember that. Remember that argument that we had, and you was like, "No, Maguire is you." Yes, it was you.
No, I
Same
did not.
guy.
I did not
Yes,
say that.
it was
No,
you,
I did
bro.
not say
Yes,
that
it was
Maguire
you.
is
How's he
better than
better?
me. No, I
You
did
remember
not.
we were arguing. I said Lindelof is better than Maguire.
No, I said in the air, and then what you said, I said only in the air he's better than him, and then
I said
you
he's
said,
better.
and
I
then you
said
said,
Lindelof.
nah, he's
is,
better all round.
no,
He's calm, and I said,
he's
nah,
better
yeah,
than
he
him.
is.
What?
Why'd you lie?
Feels like he's
I remember. I remember the
Why'd you
argument that we
exaggerate
had,
and lie?
bro.
Feels
I
like
actually remember the argument that we had, bro. And I was talking. I was like,
So do
"Are
I,
you
and I
mad?"
never said that Lindelof.
All right. No, but you say mad
better than
things
Lindelof.
because in the last couple of
he's
days,
backtracking.
now all of a sudden you're saying that all of a sudden the same guy that you're talking about Lindelof like he was a scrub before, now all of a sudden he can pass better than Varane, and all of a sudden that what do you call it, Martinez, who's been
Who's better on the ball,
been
Lindelof or
solid.
Varane?
Hold on, now you weren't even acknowledging how good Lindelof was, and now all of a sudden he's great. Now I couldn't believe it. I said I can't believe this is the same
in
guy
that game,
that I was talking to you the other day.
In that game we just played, I said he's moving like Varane. Right or wrong? Is he?
Then no, and then you went and clarified yourself in another show that I was watching, and I said I heard him say this guy can pass better than Varane. I said, bro,
can pass better than Varane though.
Flex
He can. I'll
going
say that
in
right now. Lindelof is better on the ball.
You weren't acknowledging this stuff when I was arguing with you about did we not have an argument about Maguire? Did we not? Me and you.
Yeah, and I was defending
Lindelof,
and you were defending. What did I say? What did I say? The only thing that Maguire's better than him at. What did I say?
What's he better? What's Maguire better than Lindelof at?
I just said heading. That's all I said.
Where? Heading towards his own goal? Where?
Just heading, getting his head on things. That's all I said. That's all I said.
Do what though?
But you've taken that. This is how I know your brain's mad. In your brain, what you've heard is going. You've heard that Harry Maguire is a better player than Lindelof.
Listen,
what you've heard.
You need to accept. You need to accept. You two say some mad things, and then even that thing was unnecessary. The Martinez thing, you just jumped out of nowhere, and then even no, I'm saying you say there's a trend. I'm saying there's a trend of you going crazy. I'm saying there's a trend of you going crazy. I'm saying there's a trend. I'm saying there's a trend of you going crazy, bro, and not to only to now. I didn't even know what he said to Owen. For you to now say if the Manchester derbies comes up and Martinez is fit, you don't want to see him play ahead of Shaw.
No,
what's going on?
What was my answer?
That is what you said as well. You said that.
Obviously, in that moment, I'm doing the wind-up thing on Owen because what my answer was.
Your sarcasm. Your sarcasm. He's a liar. He's a liar.
I said Eric Ten. I said he just done a good job on Haaland. Eric Ten Hag thought so. Did he not?
Yeah, and I said Martinez had just come back from the World Cup.
Yeah, and then what did I say after that, Owen? And what did I say after that, Owen?
No, I said to you. I said binary choice, Martinez or Shaw, and you said Shaw. And there was a pause, and there was a pause.
After I had that little chuckle, Owen, this is why I need you to be honest.
You're a disgrace.
I want to see what minerals Owen's got now.
No, don't ask about his minerals. Don't ask about his minerals. He's fine.
My minerals are huge. Okay, don't even start that.
Well, let's see how big they are. After that little chuckle, what did I actually say after that? What did I say?
Genuinely, I can't remember because
I can't.
I trust him. I trust him.
I can't remember. Of course you said it because you said it. You said it. You said it, and it went quiet.
9 months ago, can't remember the conversation that I had yesterday. All of a sudden,
because you said, I said, which one would you choose? And you said Shaw, and you said Shaw's better than Martinez, and I went, but he's not though. And then it went quiet.
And then what did I say? And then what did I say? Go on.
You said he was better on the ball, I believe you said. And no, actually, you said, it's just come back to me.
Oh, you remember now? I remember.
Yes. You said to me, he can do everything Martinez can do just as well. And I said, well,
he's been saying that a lot.
I said, Martinez can do better blocks. And you went, yeah, better blocks. I went, Martinez is better on the ball. You went, yeah, he's better on the ball. Then we're talking about headers, and I went, I think Martinez is better in the air. And you went, no, Shaw's better in the air. Yeah, that's how the conversation went.
That is how the conversation went. And this sounds exactly how a Maguire Lindelof conversation. And that's why I brought it up. This is exactly how that went. You went and you defended Maguire, and I couldn't believe it, fam. I was disgusted.
You know why I'm glad? You know why I'm glad he's remembered? That's exactly what he said. And I'll tell you one thing now. I stand by what I'm saying. You lot think that I'm trying to shit on Martinez to say he's not wicked. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is put more respect on Luke Shaw's name. I'm saying we're not seeing no drop off. The guy is playing unbelievable. And I said the only thing he's doing better, the only thing that Martinez does is progressively balls through the line and switches and stuff like that. In the air, Luke Shaw is better than Martinez in the air. Yes, he is better than him. Yes, he is. With the ball at his feet, Lindelof is better than Varane, and that's the ghost of Rafe the Phantom. Sometimes you can't just say he's your favorite player and not look at the actual attributes. Is Lindelof better at the ball than Varane?
You said Shaw was better. You said Shaw was better.
Not said anything wrong, guys.
You said Shaw was a better passer.
Not said anything wrong.
No. Is Lindelof better than Varane with his feet?
You're an absolute disgrace.
Is he? Yes or no, KG?
Bro, you're an absolute disgrace.
Can I get an answer?
Bro, I'm not giving you an answer. You know, I told you why. You defended Maguire to me on that phone, and I couldn't believe it. I was disgusted.
He's getting very defensive, KG. You know this. He's getting very.
I think you lot should just settle it in the new.
I'm standing by.
Yeah, very defensive. Jurgen Fleck is going to slide tackle someone or celebrate in front of the fourth official.
We all thought our season was over. Can we not deep this? This is actually in positivity of the players, by the way. This is actually very positive.
Very defensive.
When Martinez went down injured, I said, and everybody else said, oh my God, the season could be over. We've just lost Varane and Martinez in one go. Now we're looking at Luke Shaw and Lindelof. And what my point was, obviously, during that thing, obviously I've gone overboard and like trying to get people to
there you go. Thank you.
Do what you're doing.
That's what we just.
But Owen's not admitting that because actually what I said to Owen was, I said, yeah, obviously Martin. He's forgetting that.
We called it out.
Owen, don't do
that. Because I've just remembered part of the conversation. I just remembered you saying.
Owen, swear to God, Owen.
You're looking at Flex right now. Flex looks he's frazzled. I can't believe it. He wants to be eloquent, but he just can't. He hasn't
in front of 1,800 people, yeah. Swear to this 1,800 people, yeah. That at the end of that conversation, I didn't go.
Now he's getting people to swear.
I am going extra. Obviously,
I can't believe it.
Sure, is playing unreal. Can you not? Are you gonna say? Are you gonna lie about that?
Owen,
go on, KG.
Owen, I can't believe he's getting you to swear, mate. The guy's losing control. And as far as I'm concerned, I want to hear from Mina.
Yeah, Mina.
No, I just want Owen to continue.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Flex is an absolute disgrace. And this guy argued with me. You had a wicked argument about Maguire. I couldn't believe. I said, bro, I can't believe
you're just a barefaced liar.
You're a barefaced liar, actually. If we want to go back to conversations gone boss, yeah, we can talk about you talking about Rashford and that and saying
you are a liar.
You are a liar. You are a liar. I remember things that we said, bro. We can go back.
Swear to God that I said that Maguire is better than it. Go on,
bro. Oh my goodness. Are you? So what did you do on that night? Because Josh was there. What was he saying? He said there's no difference in them. You said there's no difference in them. He's not better. You said there's no difference in them. They're closer than you think. How are they close? Are you telling me I'm making up? Are you telling me I'm making up?
He also said Harry Maguire was better on the ball than Eric Bailly. That's a fact as well. He said that. Remember, you did say that.
I'm telling you, this guy's a fake. This guy's a fraud, bro.
And you don't like Casemiro too. That's right, Mina.
Look at him, bro. Look at Fleck.
So now you're asking me to believe the guy that through all season, we're in
a title race. Because I said we're in a title race. What does that? I will own what I said, bro. Just own it. You
said it, but I've just owned it, and you're still moaning. I've just said to you. Hold on. You said own it. I just looked at you and said Lindelof is better on the ball than Varane. I can't own it any more than that. I've just said to you, Luke Shaw is better in the air than Martinez. I can't own it any more than that.
But I didn't hear these.
How can I own it? Luke Shaw is better in the air than Lisandro Martinez.
But how's that? How do you prove that? How have you gone to prove that? What's your proof?
Because I've seen Martinez play all season, and I've seen Luke Shaw all the time.
And then what? And is Martinez losing all his aerial battles and stuff? How have you quantified that? What have you done?
Luke Shaw wins every single one of his.
But what have you done? Are you just doing it by the eye test? What have you done? How have you quantified that he's better?
Because with my eye test, when I watch the both of them, I can see that Luke Shaw is better in. Why is that crazy?
Because you got no stats, bro. Remember that day when I came with a horrible sample size and you laughed me out the room?
Bro, you had to start. Let's talk about your stats. You came up for 2 weeks. It's been a whole season, and Luke Shaw's been in nearly 10 years at me. I got 10 years on Luke Shaw, and I got almost a whole season on Luke.
And he's saying after the last 10 years. Wait, are you telling me for the last 10 years you've seen great stuff from Luke Shaw? Wait, are you telling me for the last 10 years you've seen great stuff from Luke Shaw? Is that what you're now going to say?
With his head in the air, yes, I have.
You fucking liar.
I don't swear. Don't use the F-bomb. It's not 9 o'clock.
I don't think he said anything wrong, guys. I don't think Flex has said anything wrong. I don't think he said anything wrong, guys.
You're encouraging them now. You're encouraging them now, man.
I know, Kenny. I know, but I'm just being myself. I can't help it anymore, Kenny. Now they're gonna get on to me. They're gonna get on to me, Kenny. I can't stop it.
Exactly.
Can I ask a serious question though? This is actually a serious question. This is back to football. Yeah, we've gone over now. Sorry, guys. This is back to football. I'm being deadly honest now. Can I ask a serious question? All jokes aside.
It's not
serious. No. There's no there we go. What I'm saying. I'm just trying
to go on, do it.
Why you just gotta be silly all the time?
Because I feel like you're gonna be passive aggressive. I feel like this is a perfect passive aggressive.
No, there's no passive aggressive. This is just talking, asking normal questions, right? Here we go. How are we feeling? Actually, let me rephrase that question. Are we surprised by how well Luke Shaw and Lindelof are playing? And I'm just asking a serious question. Right. And is there a big drop-off from Lindelof to Varane? This is the ghost of Rafe the Phantom we're talking about in this moment. I'm talking about, not overall as a player in their careers. Of course not. Varane is the Varane. He's the ghost of Rafe the Phantom. Leacher is Leacher. He's the butcher. But what I'm saying is did we anticipate a bigger drop-off from them two players coming in? Have we been pleasantly surprised is what I'm asking. I'm just asking a question.
I think the other it needs put into context, doesn't it? Because we've only seen Lindelof and Maguire Lindelof and Shaw in about 3 or 4 games. In those games, in front of me, they've had Casemiro. And they've had an excellent Wan-Bissaka on the right-hand side, and they've had a very good Dalot at left back. So I think when you put it into context, I think you look at the whole back five collectively. I don't think it's just Shaw and Lindelof. I think they're all playing well. And I don't think you can put it down to Shaw or Lindelof or whatever. I think there's a general, they really have got it together in defence. And again, yesterday at the game, the way that it was structured, the way that the transition played, the way that they defended, I don't think Aston Villa, apart from where Malacia slid in and took the ball from, I think it was Watkins' foot, they didn't really create many chances. And that was the whole team was defending well. They played well. So I know I'll take on board. Shaw and Lindelof have surprised me. They've surprised me. But I am more confident. I've always been confident, and I think I've always been happier when Martinez and Varane have been there. But that's only because we've not seen much of Shaw and Lindelof. Now, moving forward, I will be more than happy if they go to the end of the season as a centre-back pairing. However, I'd love to see, I'm hoping that Martinez, I think he's now been out 4 weeks. He's come to his 4th week now. And Metatarsal's normally only 5 weeks. We play this the cup final in June. If there is half a chance of Martinez coming back and he can get a game in before, I'd love to see him at...
I don't think he will, Kenny. I think he's done.
I don't know. No. But I'd love to see him at left centre-back, and I'd love to see Shaw back in his old place. But no, to be fair, they've done exceptionally well.
Marcel, I don't know.
I'm back.
Okay. Okay, wicked. To be honest, we've gone over. I don't want to keep everybody past their times. But if anyone's got any quick closing statements to wrap up, the floor's yours.
It is a drop-off. Your question was directly on Martinez, Luke Shaw, Varane, and Lindelof. And I think the latter two, there's a major drop-off, Flex. Lindelof, I think, is the weaker one at the set, but he's been on form the last couple of games. You spoke on how his passing range is brilliant and on all those kind of things. 100% agree with you. Varane's the best ability is availability. Varane's kind of lacking on that. He's maybe a 7-6 out of 10 for that. We need an upgrade. We need someone to push him. Martinez is one of the best centre backs in the league. Luke Shaw's, I think, like you're talking about, and you're speaking to KG about his heading ability. Over the course of a whole 10 years at left back, in centre back, he's winning duels against strikers. He's winning
centre back. He's actually doing really well. He wins a lot of headers.
Yeah. To your point, really, he's one. So I think he's been fantastic as well. So you maybe need another centre back, but that drop there is massive. We're going to see it against Haaland. It's going to be a long day, against City's forward line. So.
Yeah, sorry, there's loads of super chats, and I'll just get the closing thoughts from the rest of you really quickly. Jay Bruce says, "Oh no, so I read that one. We'll be left with debt. So Marcus, Daniel says KG, like, okay, no. Right. Daniel says, KG, my wife loves your smile. She saw you on Ted Lasso. But he's put a sad face because I think he's annoyed that his wife likes you. So
oh why I'm married.
KG's like, yay.
I was like, oh, no.
Nana says it's getting more and more difficult to listen to Marcel. What's this man on about? Just my opinion. Min says KG trying to end Flex's career. WJ Barrett says, Fleck, as you are CEO, I say this with pain. Saying Shaw and Lindelof are better than Varane and Martinez is a crackhead cop. I didn't say that. Lil Yo-Yo, Fleck, the last 24 hours, you've been moving mad. Leacher over Shaw. City all the way. Oh, they're in there. Haaland is going to destroy your Finnish club. Treble is loading up nicely. That fraud Casemiro needs to be humbled after what happened last year in the Champions League. Hoping for at least 7-0. See you at Wembley, mate. See you there, and hopefully you fill up your allocation. Yeah, see you there. Santiago says, KG play oh my god expression soundbite to Flex's comment.
Oh no, expressions.
Expressions.
Nah, expressions is muddy. No, this is the perfect one.
Broke me, blood. I'm broken, fam. Oh my god.
Ahmed is gifted. Not 5, not 10, not 15.
Get out of here.
20 memberships. Nah. Big up to Ahmed. Thank you, bro.
Wow. I think he did it twice as well.
Twice.
Get out.
I never spelled it.
Yes. Wow. Dan, listen, that is crazy, Ahmed.
That's
thank
crazy.
You so much. Yeah, really appreciate that. Daniel, thank you for the contribution. Daniel Palenchik. Daniel Luciano says, KG arguing like my 7th grade students. Well, yeah, that would mean KG is
nice because I had the child voice on. Yeah, I had the child voice on.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Anyway, he knows how.
JE, thank you for the super chat. JE says Flex is actually right. I can't lie. The Iceman is better on the ball, but not a better defender than Varane. And Martinez is around a better defender than Shaw, but Shaw is better in the air than Martinez.
Didn't say anything wrong. You didn't say anything wrong.
Apparently, I'm crazy.
I'm not going to go back to it, but then
yeah,
I know Martinez wins his headers. I know Martinez wins his headers, and they've checked it. Bro, they said that this guy's
I didn't say he didn't win his headers.
I'm just saying so. So I'm saying that we're not going to go back. We're not going to go back. But I'm just saying,
did I say Martinez doesn't win headers? Did I say that?
Did I say it?
I'm not getting.
Did I say Martinez doesn't win headers?
It's up to you. It's up to you. He's better.
Did I say it?
It's up to you. He's better than Martinez.
Did I say it?
We don't miss anything. It's fine.
Did those words come out?
But you're scared of Brighton on thingy. But is everything
next super chat? I've muted Flex. I've muted Flex. Next super chat is
no. Did I say that Martinez doesn't win
headers? Mate, you're worried about playing Brighton on thingy, and you got the best centre big power in the world, so you should be fine. Why are you scared?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
We've got games, and you got games, and you're scared to go on the road. I'm saying if you got wicked,
are you confident?
I'm saying, bro, have confidence.
When we had Varane and Martinez, and we lost 7-0, and we lost 6-3, and all them mad things, was it okay then? Was it okay then with the best two in the world?
I have confidence in Martinez. That's what I'm telling you.
Oh well, you don't have confidence in Luke Shaw.
I told you I have confidence in. So
you don't like Luke? Is Luke Shaw a rubber centre?
I love Luke Shaw, but I just wouldn't say he's better than thingy. I just wouldn't.
Is Luke Shaw fat?
What?
Finish super chat's man.
Chelsea's going to win. 3-0.
Yeah. KG, Daniel says, KG, you are my Pope. Take me to church. I will pray for your jokes. That makes me happy. Bang. Joe Blackman says, you man arguing and Owen looking like Mr. Burns. Ahmed gifted another 20 super chats. Oh my God. Oh my God. Jeez. Ahmed, man of the match, man of the stream. Unbelievable. He says, we also need to factor in the age of the owner and its effects due to the likelihood of death or passing control to benefactors. We've had it with Malcolm Glazer and Leicester with the death of their owner. So Jim Ratcliffe is 70. And Astral Football says, question to the panel, will we finish in the top 4 without Shaw covering centre-back for the rest of the season?
Of course.
Would we finish in the top 4 without Shaw covering? So what? Who would you put there? As in, put Harry Maguire there instead? Well, no. Well, that's the question. It's a question.
That's a good question, isn't it?
What? Put Harry Maguire where? I don't want Harry Maguire.
It's a question. No, it's a question to the panel. Will we finish in the top 4 without Shaw covering centre back for the rest of the season?
No, we couldn't. We couldn't.
Yes.
No, we couldn't.
So Marcel, you're saying if we count Shaw and put Harry Maguire next to Lindelof, we'd be all right. We'd definitely get top 4.
With the job being, how many points is it left at? What, 12? 9? Yes. We can win 3 games at home. We can
with
win
Maguire.
2 additional games with Maguire as the starting centre back in this theoretical situation.
I don't trust him.
I believe we can achieve that.
I don't trust him. No.
And Ahmed said, KG, check your Instagram messages.
I will.
And Ahmed also says he gifted another 20.
And he's done it again.
Oh
He's done it again.
I never spell it. I never spell it.
No, seriously, I don't know what to say. What do you say to that then? Thank you, bro.
On that note, I think we should all give Ahmed a round of applause.
Let's go. That's crazy.
Yeah, thank you, Ahmed. Amazing. What a stream. What an enjoyable full view. That is classic full view. That is.
Yeah.
So we will see you again tomorrow with the morning show, morning view. We'll be keeping you up to date with everything.
Hell, that's a lot. Though.
And obviously in the lead up to the game against Brighton away as well. Big game. And a tough game as well. So we'll have all of that. Take care, guys. We'll see you again very, very soon. Big up to Minna, big up to Kenny, big up to KG, big up to Marcel, big up to Owen, and big up to, most importantly, every single one of you guys, because this has been an amazing stream. Take care, guys. Peace.